Well, thank you very much, Minister of Energy, Mr. David Mahlobo, Deputy Minister of Energy, Thembi Majola, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers who are present here, Honorable Members of Parliament who are with us, members of the Diplomatic Corps who are with us here, invited speakers who will make a contribution in the process of this gathering, distinguished delegates, and all those who are here. Good morning to you all. We are happy to join you at this important gathering, convened to discuss a crucial sector of our economy. We also meet just days after the encouraging news that South Africa's economy grew by 2% in the third quarter of 2017. Boosted by the strong performance of our agricultural sector. Mining and manufacturing also contributed significantly to the recorded growth. We are not out of the woods yet, but such positive news encourages us to work harder to find solutions to the African difficulties that our country is facing. The energy sector is an important engine of growth which makes this Indaba quite opportune as we continue to search for ways of reigniting growth in our country. We have made a lot of progress in the energy sector in our country over the past years. I will mention just a few. The country has one of the most acclaimed renewable energy independent power producer programs in the world. Our renewable energy programs was introduced as part of the energy mix and attracted billions of rands into our country, making South Africa one of the leaders in rolling out good green energy projects. In other key achievements, we have a world-class coal to liquid facility run by Sasol, which serves the country considerable amount of foreign exchange. We have a gas to liquid plant run by Petro SA, which is the only one in the Southern Hemisphere. South Africa boasts a nuclear research reactor facing the research reactor facility at Pelindaba that produces nuclear medicine which gets injected to a patient on average every 3 seconds in more than 60 countries. We are also proud of our pebble bed nuclear fuel produced at Indaba that has withstood high temperatures without an impact on its integrity. Our nuclear facility at Indaba was recently given an award by the US Department of Energy for being the first to successfully convert from using bomb-grade uranium to low-enriched uranium. Units at our Koeberg nuclear power station continue to break records for uninterrupted power generation. Added to this is our program of extending electricity to our households to improve the quality of life. Over the past 23 years of our democracy, we have been able to increase access from a mere 34% to 85% of our population. Thousands of people in rural areas and informal settlements now have a better life. They can switch on the lights, cook, watch television, and have a better life due to the installation of electricity. This is one of the untold stories about the successes of our country, South Africa. Our country went through a difficult period a few years ago, facing energy shortages. In 2014, we developed the 9-point plan to turn the economy around. Key amongst the interventions, we added resolving the energy challenge. We embarked on an efficient maintenance plan while continuing with our build program, continuing with the building of 3 new power stations. We now have surplus electricity, which is good for our economy and our people. We are pleased that the efforts government and its partners put in resolving the energy challenge have borne fruit. We want to ensure that we never experience an energy shortage again in our country. In this regard, we will continuously invest in power generation, transmission, and distribution infrastructure. We are pursuing our energy security master plan. We are looking at an energy mix that includes coal, solar, wind, hydro, gas, and nuclear energy. Energy is also one of the major areas of regional cooperation. South Africa exports electricity to the region and imports hydro-generated electricity from Mozambique. Our country benefits from natural gas imports from Mozambique. ESCOM and its counterparts in Zimbabwe and Mozambique are going to embark on a program to further interconnect the three countries under the Mozisa transmission framework. This will ensure that any utility in the region that has spare capacity can be able to trade with their counterparts in the region. On liquid fuels, South Africa continues to supply fuels to countries in the region whilst benefiting from import infrastructure that has been built in the neighboring countries. This infrastructure provides an alternative supply route into the country, and this diversity adds to energy security. The region is, however, a net importer of refined products. There is thus a need to invest in new refining capacity that will benefit the region as a whole. On regulation, our national energy regulator, NERSA, continues to harmonize electricity regulation in the region with its counterparts under the auspices of the Regional Electricity Regulators Association. As you deliberate, I urge you to reflect as well on how we can take regional cooperation further in SADC, in the energy sector in particular. One of the reasons why we are emphasizing on energy, I know that there's been a long debate about the types of it. The fact is that without energy, there will be very little economy. But energy is indeed a catalyst. With energy, you can grow your economy to become bigger and bigger. It's an advantage. And that's why I'm happy to see many of you here to discuss this matter. This Indaba, this Energy Indaba, takes place at a time when the offshoots of global economic recovery are being threatened by ever-increasing energy costs. The price of crude oil has more than doubled in a space of 24 months. Decisions taken by the oil-producing countries in the past week to maintain quotas on oil production will put added pressure on oil importing economies such as ours. This week, South Africans are reeling from the increase of petrol and diesel prices. However, We are aware that these high oil prices also benefit oil-producing economies in sub-Saharan Africa and bode well for their GDP growth. As government, we will need to intensify efforts under the auspices of Operation Pakisa, Oceans Economy segment, to accelerate the exploration for oil and gas on South Africa's offshore domain. Distinguished delegates, as we speak about the need to promote long-term energy security, we should also remember that transformation in this sector is paramount in order to ensure sustainability into the future. The ANC adopted radical socio-economic transformation as its policy at its 53rd National Conference in Mangaung in 2012, and it automatically became government policy. The ANC has defined radical economic transformation as referring to fundamental change in the structure, systems, institutions, and patterns of ownership, management, and control of the economy in favor of all South Africans, especially the poor, the majority of whom are African and women. The ANC, which is the ruling party, in January 8, 2017, statement this year, further outlined the governing party's focus on radical socio-economic transformation and also specifically radical economic transformation. In May 2014, in my inaugural address, I stated that the focus of the fifth democratic administration for the years 2014 to 2019 would be to implement radical socio-economic policies in line with the said ANC policy. Radical socio-economic transformation was also declared a priority for 2017 to 2018 for government in the 2017 State of the Nation Address. We therefore reject the incorrect and patronizing assertions by some sections of society that the radical economic transformation policy was developed by a company from London for the black people of South Africa. The policy originated from the ANC. Together, we need to broaden the ownership, management, and control of the economy so that we can build a more sustainable future for ourselves. We invite local and foreign investors in the energy sector to ensure that their investments promote the participation of black people. We need to create strong local enterprises through the Black Industrialist Program and through strategic partnerships with foreign players in the energy sector. Discussions with business on the implementation of this policy are necessary so that we move together. I think there is an important point to make. We all in society have to work together, but there are key actors, business and government. If these two are not working together, it's difficult for other sectors to come in. So it is crucial that we discuss, we find solutions to move forward. It does not mean other sectors are not important, but these two are key. That is why we always talk about government to create conducive environment for business to thrive. And I'm hoping that this gathering will, in a sense, enhance that interaction, and it should be properly directed. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest stories this year, which has an impact on the economy, is the 54th National Conference of the ANC, which will take place from the 16th to 20th December. If you count, you'll realize it's just 1 week and few days that Zuma will be the president. He will be no longer. And he's very happy. You don't know how happy he is. A united and strong ANC is good for business and is good for the country. That is our conviction, for a variety of reasons that we could talk about. We know that there is a lot of anxiety in the business community at this time about what will transpire at the conference and the impact of the country's future, and even that of the region, SADC itself. In my capacity as president of the ANC, let me assure you that everything possible is being done to ensure a successful conference and transition to the future. The National Executive Committee of the governing party held its last ordinary meeting this past weekend, and it was one of the warmest, most productive, and the most comradely meetings we have ever had. The NEC was united in the resolve to ensure a successful, peaceful, orderly conference. I met with the 7 ANC presidential hopefuls recently, and we agreed on the need to ensure unity, order, and cohesion at the conference. The presidential hopefuls also met with ANC provincial secretaries and chairpersons, and the same message was emphasized. I prefixed my intervention to them that I was speaking as now a president with a qualification, an outgoing president. As I prepare to step down as ANC president at the conference, I will work with all comrades and colleagues to ensure a successful and seamless handover to the new leadership. We believe in the ANC that if you can be a leader, we are prepared to lead, you must also be prepared to be led. We need to unite as a nation and ensure that we face the challenges together and find solutions together as we build a prosperous South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, you will engage in important deliberations over the next 2 days. I look forward to receiving the report of the conference and a program of action detailing how you believe we can use the energy sector as a catalyst to reignite our economy and improve the quality of life of our people. So there are greater expectations to this gathering. And I'm also happy that foreign countries and organizations are represented. Because having said we need to work together in South Africa, but we need to work together, all of us, globally. We need to benefit, all of us. If South Africa has the raw material, it must also have an opportunity to beneficiate so that business could be balanced. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, I wish you a successful Indaba. Thank you very much.